Welcome, Patrick, Noel, Daly. You are the book of the month in the NOCO Collab with magazine with your book, Just a Startup. Why did you write this book?
Hi Yara, well, I'm delighted to be book of the month. I wrote the book last year. I've been in business for like over 20 years and I'm currently doing my 5th startup. So I learned a lot of lessons along the way, some very tough lessons, some very good lessons. And I said, if things started to level out a little bit in terms of kind of day-to-day activity, and if I had some time in the evenings, I'd write a book. So that's what I did last year, and it took me a while to publish it, but it's out there now. And it's designed to help entrepreneurs and people thinking of starting a business, and it's written for that purpose. So it's a collection of recommendations, advice, nuggets of real life advice, not just, kind of theory. This is about practice, everything that I've experienced in terms of the specific issues, how to overcome them, how to navigate around them, and some tips as to how it can help you to scale your business and get your startup going. So that's really what it's about. It's a very short book. It's only like 65 A5 pages because we're busy people. We're all busy people. And I wanted to make it very specific and concise and right down the line advice.
Yeah, I was reading the book and really super practical, and you are touching all the points needed because entrepreneurship, I think it's a key part of innovation, or if we want to bring something new to the market. So it's not a normal business. Entrepreneurship is like to bring something new to a new market even. So it's extra complicated. It's not only learning about business and how to drive a business. It's much more like this. So what are the key points and the insights you can sum up from your book? Like what the key best practices?
Okay, I guess to use the word entrepreneurship, first of all, I'm very pleased to say that's now recognized as a profession, as a role. When I started out, it wasn't really defined as a specific type of, let's say, function or job role. It is now. It's recognized as an important function because it's all about bringing something from zero to, being developed and being evolved and being built. And that's what entrepreneurship, in a kind of headline summary for me, is about: taking something from a concept or an idea and bringing it to reality and making it much, much bigger and benefiting a lot of people around you as well as yourself as the entrepreneur. The other element of that question then, innovation. I think innovation is critical to any business, whether you're a startup or whether you're a large business. Even in everyday life, we always want to improve. We always want to look for something. So innovation, to me, as I said in the book, is a mindset, in the business and in people's thinking. If you're doing a job, look at it and say, is there an easier way to do this? Is there a better way to do this? Can I innovate? And I think it really is, that should be nurtured in every business every day, particularly in startups. Because what we've got in startups is yet sometimes the innovation advantage. We move faster, we generate ideas much more regularly because we have that nimble effect, we have that creative nimble function. And if we can continue to generate innovation, then it adds value to the business, and bigger businesses can see that. And who knows, if you build the business up to a certain level, then a bigger business could look at your startup and say, this is something we could buy or acquire.
Yeah, and I think this part of entrepreneurship, there is this myth, or I think now we can say with all the online magazines, they are so competitive between each other, and all the articles talking about startups and entrepreneurship. There is this tendency to see or to explain like success is from one day to another day. And then there is this misconception about entrepreneurship and how to build a startup. It's not one day, it's maybe years. Mm-hmm. And then it's creating this kind of over expectations, which are not truth, and as well as creating a lot of frustration from this. So how do you see these times of how do you create a startup, and how the mindset of the entrepreneur has to be to accept and to look at the reality of what exactly means to build a new business, innovative business, which is bringing to the market a new product?
It's a good question, because there are many, many phases to startup. There's the concept phase where you're pretty much on your own a lot of the time, and you're trying to convince people that this is a good idea or a good business or a good product. Then you get to a stage where you're like at pre-seed stage, let's say. Well, that could be categorized as pre-seed as well. But then you get to seed stage where you're putting the foundations in place for the business. And then early stage up to Series A, you go through the various phases, and each phase requires a different set of circumstances and set of inputs. So your job as the entrepreneur, and our job as the entrepreneur, is to look at that and say, okay, what do I need? Who do I need? How do I get there? And once we have that defined, then that's your roadmap. That's where you go for that phase of the business. But I think it's a good idea to think in phases, and there are people that you can engage either on let's say, a co-founder basis, an employee basis, or a consultancy, somebody to bolt onto your business or to attach to your business that has certain skills. And sometimes there are people with skills for each individual stage. Sometimes there are people that can go across, that are kind of stage agnostic, and they can go across all stages while the business is growing. But your job and our job as the entrepreneur is to decipher and kind of map that out and say, okay, who do I need, what do I need, and how do I get there? And once you've got that defined in your own mind, then I think you're on the right road.
Mm-hmm. And we have as well entrepreneurs coming from academia. Like they have a technology and they want to bring this to the market. Do you see a difference between an academic going to the market and become an entrepreneur, or another person from industry to become an entrepreneur? Or there is a difference, or is the same? You need the same transformation?
I don't. It's case specific. You have to look at a certain individual who could be very strong in the academic world, and who may have the energy, drive, willingness, and attitude to succeed in entrepreneurship. Some people don't like the kind of what is typically kind of termed and seen as a selling job. But really, it's not about selling. It's about convincing. It's taking your idea and taking your concept and taking your business and convincing yourself, number one, that you've got the right product, and then convincing others. And once you've got others on board, you're actually selling. Because people get a little bit scared about the whole word sales and selling. But realistically, if you believe in yourself and if you believe in your product or service that you're offering, then you can be pretty convincing around that. And you should just kind of neutralize the whole kind of sales tag and banner a little bit and just say, what have I got to offer? And if you're in academia, look at the services that are around as well, because a lot of there are some agencies out there who will have entrepreneurs or established business people or experienced people who have built 1 or 2 or 3 startups, who are willing to contribute to the academic person and give them their guidance and support and advice. And I do that in some cases. If somebody that is in, let's say, for want of a kind of a general term, if somebody's in academia, and if they say, okay, well, I'm not really interested in the commercializing or the entrepreneurship part, then bring somebody in who has that skill and who has that experience. And a lot of people in that situation are more than willing to share.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Patrick. So your book is available on Amazon. So
yes,
we will share the link here.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to share some chapters or some points with the audience as well for free?
Just to say, it's great to be, as I said, Book of the Month, and I'm delighted with that, kind of to be able to put the book out there and the information out there. In general summary, it's an easy read, but it's very, very real, and I wanted to write it as though I was speaking to people. And it's written to give people a hand, to give people a help. And if I can do that, then it's mission accomplished for me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Yara.
I think they can find you as well in the No-Code Collab With platform if you want to work or to have a mentorship from Patrick. And as well, you are selling now a very nice product for the COVID-19
Yeah,
crisis.
we're in the infection control space now. We had a product that was in medical, and we've adapted it for the home hygiene audience or the home hygiene market. So users at home can buy this product, and it's a sleep surface. It's a mattress topper or a complete mattress product. And with this coronavirus crisis happening, we said we've got this medical technology already established. Let's adapt it for everybody right across the sleep space, which is hotels, resorts, cruise ships, and for people at home. And that's iconinfectioncontrol.com. So there are more details on our website. And yeah, exciting times. And that's my 5th startup. And so far, so good. But that's where we are.
Thank you, Patrick. A pleasure to talk to you.
Likewise, Yara. Have a good day.